Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Sunday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Diana Master. Let's take a look at the news making headlines tonight. Namibia has gathered a team of high-skilled experts to help the country draft its synthetics fuel law, including Oxford University, University of Cape Town, World Bank, and the Center for Law Development Program in the United States. This team will report to the Ministry of Justice and the Ministry of Mines of Energy and will be compensated with funds from the grants Namibia received from Germany and the European Union. This is according to James Oneuptwo, Green Hydrogen Commissioner, who revealed that the World Bank have already sponsored a report of about 130 pages long, summarizing all the different legislative actions or amendments that may be necessary in order to incubate a proper synthetic fuels sectorial legislation. Oneuptwo declined to comment how much has been spent on this project, but pointed out that Hyphen has already spent millions and millions of euros on legal fees alone, adding that quite a lot of money has been spent on desktop studies. He added that the bidder has also spent considerable money on logistics to sign memorandum of understandings, including with companies of South Korea. A total of 593 million euros, about 10.6 billion Namibian dollars at the current exchange rate, was pledged to Namibia in grants and concessionary loans at the COP27 Climate Summit in Egypt last year. According to a draft memorandum released by affirmative repositioning leader Job Amapanda, Hyphen Hydrogen Energies is poised to play a critical role in the formulation of this law, and should the concluded law make the green hydrogen project unfeasible, Namibia would have to reimburse Hyphen. Getting into our next story, the Meat Board of Namibia has requested all farmers and veterinary personnel to report any notifiable diseases. Producers and veterinary personnel from both the government and private sector are requested to report all notifiable animal diseases. It is also mandatory in terms of the Animal Health Act of 2011, it said. Notifiable diseases, for example, include foot and mouth disease, bovine lung disease, rabies, and measles. Reporting is extremely essential to monitor disease trends and prevent outbreaks or be able to contain them in time, the Meat Board said. It further reminded producers of the mandatory keeping of records in terms of farming activities as stipulated in the Animal Health Act and the Animal Identification Regulations of 2017. Records must be kept by all producers, regardless of whether the relevant producer delivers to the export market or not. Record keeping is a national requirement, so is the identification of livestock by means of stock brand and ear tags or tattooing, it said. Now, a total of 15 rhinos have been poached this year compared to 87 rhinos poached in 2022 and 45 in 2021. In the latest incident, a black rhino was poached on a private farm in the Grootfontein district between 1 April and 28 April. The rhino carcass was apparently only discovered this week, and investigations indicate that it was shot twice with a hunting rifle. Spokesperson of the Environment Ministry, Romeo Muyunda, confirmed this, saying that investigations are still ongoing and said that no arrests have been made just yet. Last year's figure is the third highest recorded since 2013, only surpassed by the 97 rhinos poached in 2015. Of the 87 rhinos poached last year, 61 were black rhinos and 26 white rhinos, and 46 of those rhinos were poached at the Etosha National Park, Namibia's flagship game reserve. In 2022, poaching cases included 15 rhinos poached on custodianship farms and another 25 white rhinos on private farms. A recent report by the Wildlife Justice Commission said that Vietnamese criminal networks are filling the void left by the removal of Chinese networks in Namibia, South Africa, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Angola, and Mozambique. According to the report, it is difficult to quantify how much rhino horn is held in legal stockpiles, as few countries publicly report their stockpile inventory. However, the most recent figures indicate that more than 87 tons of rhino horns and pieces are held in 10 African range states. It said analysis of seizure data shows that Malaysia has emerged as a key transit country for rhino horn trafficking from Africa to Asia. It has been linked to seizures originating from Uganda, Mozambique, Namibia, and South Africa. Data collected further shows that 83 kilograms of Namibian rhino horns were seized during 2020 and 2021. Now, the open season event held at Namibia Media Holdings in Windhoek's Eros on Saturday, the 6th of May, was a remarkable day for music enthusiasts in Namibia. Hosted by Dream Believe Succeed in collaboration with Namibia Media Holdings, Namibian Sun, the 8-hour event featured an eclectic lineup of talented DJs, including Tumi Mohammed, Sedated, DJ Stizzo, Top Boy Tuta, and a Gulp's Worth. From the moment the doors opened at 1 p.m., the excitement was palpable. Attendees were treated to an impressive display of sound and light as each DJ delivered a unique set that kept the crowd dancing and singing along. The event had a carnival-like atmosphere with food stalls, drinks, and merchandise available, adding to the festive mood. Our Community Talk segment follows right after this break.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automotive.
Getting into our Community Talk segment, the Ministry of Health and Social Services on Friday, the 5th of May, announced that Namibia is one of the 12 countries that have been selected for the implementation of the first phase of the Emergency Preparedness Response Flagship Initiative through the World Health Organization, valued at $51.1 million Namibian dollars. To kickstart the initiative, WHO donated 8 4x4 Toyota Land Cruisers, multi-purpose field vehicles, including and well-equipped ambulance. Furthermore, the organization added equipment for the establishment of a digital learning platform and learning network for public health emergency workforce development in Namibia at the value of 110,399 Namibian dollars. During his address, WHO country representative Charles Moses affirmed that Namibia was one of the first countries selected for the rollout of this initiative. This video is by Elizabeth Joseph.
And shared the purpose of our gathering here this morning, namely the signing of the Memorandum of Agreement for Emergency Preparedness and Response Flagship Initiative, and the handover of the vehicles and digital learning platform equipment by the World Health Organization to the Ministry of Health and Social Services. I'm therefore delighted to be here with you today and to witness this important occasion. The Memorandum of Agreement represents an important step forward in our shared commitment to ensure that Namibia is ready to prevent, timely detect, and promptly respond to public health emergencies that may occur in our country. The initiative that Namibia will implement will also further strengthen the global architecture of preparedness and response to health emergencies. As articulated by Dr. Sagwe Moses, the Emergency Preparedness and Response Flagship Initiative aims to promote health security in Africa through strengthening member states' capacity to prepare, to timely detect, and to promptly respond to public health threats. And
stick around after the break, we get into our story of the day.
To another exciting episode of Oneuptwo.
Dis die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis julle moontlik gaan byt.
In our story of the day tonight, President Hage Geingob said he was satisfied Heineken executives presented themselves to him at State House following its acquisition of Namibia Breweries, adding he was happy the company would support the local economy. Let's take a look.
It's good that you are doing public, no secrets. Press is here, so we can know what is going on. It's a private company, it's not a government company. Of course, we are interested in jobs being created. Value addition is done here. If you meet those kind of requirements, it's a private company. So I'm glad they will still try to keep in a loop. The government has to know what the private sector is doing because they don't have the country together, creating jobs together, industrializing together. So if it can be done still here, don't have any big problem.
Economic shocks associated with soaring food prices and a severe deterioration in household purchasing power were the main drivers of acute food insecurity. We get into the full story after the break as we get into our economic news.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment.
Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Getting into our economic news, in Eswatini, Lesotho, Namibia and Zimbabwe, economic shocks associated with soaring food prices and the severe deterioration in household purchasing power were the main drivers of acute food insecurity. This is according to the 2023 Global Report on Food Crises, which estimated that during the 2021 to March 2022, corresponding to the lean season, 750,000 people were in crisis or worse, IPC Phase 3 or above, including almost 120,000 people in emergency IPC Phase 4. This is the highest figure reported by the IPC for Namibia and represents 30% of the country's population. It said that key drivers of this concerning situation were drought, price shocks, and the economic impact from COVID-19 measures. However, levels of acute food insecurity are expected to decline significantly in Namibia, with the projected number of people in IPC Phase 3 or above decreasing to 390,000 in January to March this year. According to the report, economic shocks are likely to drive acute food insecurity across the globe as countries' economic resilience has been severely undermined by a slow recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. The report says that at the end of March, food prices were at extremely high levels in Namibia, Ethiopia, Ghana, Malawi, Myanmar, Pakistan, Somalia, South Sudan, and Zimbabwe. Persisting high food prices coupled with unsustainable debt levels in a number of food crisis countries amid high interest rates and currency depreciation are expected to continue to erode households' food access and constrain the fiscal capacity of governments to deliver assistance to populations. Now, King Charles III has become the 40th reigning sovereign to be crowned at Westminster Abbey. After the break, we get into the details of the coronation. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Getting into our international news, let's watch the moment Britain's King Charles is crowned Charles III at London's Westminster Abbey on Saturday, the 6th of May. Charles succeeded his mother, Queen Elizabeth, when she died last September, and at 74, he becomes the oldest British monarch to have the 360-year-old St. Edward's crown placed on his head as he sits upon a 14th century throne. Watched by about 100 heads of state and dignitaries, including US First Lady Jill Biden, and millions on television, Charles follows his predecessors from the time of William the Conqueror in 1066 in being crowned at the Abbey. His second wife, Camilla, 75, was also crowned queen during the 2-hour ceremony. Let's take a look.
God save the King!
God save the King!
We'll be right back with our weather predictions after this short break.
To another exciting episode of Oneuptwo. We bring jou
Dis die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik kan byt.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Now let's take a look at the weather predictions. Sunny weather is expected in Inanna with a maximum of 34 degrees. The same can be said for Ruakana with a maximum temperature of 33 degrees expected. Walvis Bay can expect cloudy weather and maximum temperatures of 20 degrees, while Henties Bay can expect clear skies and sunny weather with expected maximum temperatures of 20 degrees. In the sports section tonight, we take a look at the just concluded Namibian Private Schools Organization, NAPSO Sports Week. Stay tuned.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Getting into our sports news for this evening, the Namibian Private Schools Organization NAPSO Sports Week saw 16 private schools and 3,600 participants competing in different sports codes, namely rugby, netball and hockey. This year's theme was Lego. Walvis Bay Private Schools sports organizer Henry Kemp explained that Lego means loving every opportunity for growth. We are here to teach youngsters to learn and to accommodate good sportsmanship and camaraderie among each other. We are creating an opportunity for learners to enjoy everything as much as possible. According to Kemp, many learners also participated in other friendly sports competitions, namely chess, yoke, tennis and archery. The occasion was aimed at creating and increasing opportunities for learners to participate. The NAPSO Securitas Winter Sports Week was more about participation than it was about competition. It was for learners to have fun, get together and build relationships. Leopards Rugby Union cemented its 24-year winning streak by defeating Windhoek Draftville Witches 23-20 in an entertaining Mzansi Challenge match at Jan Wilkins Stadium, Walvis Bay. The event, hosted by the Namibian Rugby Union, saw a large number of spectators who came to witness if Windhoek Draftville Witches could end the 24-year winning streak of Leopards Rugby Union, which sadly they couldn't. Leopards Rugby Union hooker Vernon Paulo, with adequate support from his pack of forwards, had a storming first half. Paulo scored 2 tries and fly half Lionel April converted 2 conversions with assistance from captain Vincent Maruping and open side flanker Kwezi Mafu. Outside centre Danrik Vasachi converted 3 penalty kicks for his team. Mafu was named man of the match. Moving over to some soccer news, Orlando Pirates reached the season's Nedbank Cup final after securing a win over Kaizer Chiefs on Saturday afternoon. It took 14 minutes for Kermit Erasmus to mark his return to the starting lineup with a goal as he beat goalkeeper Brandon Peterson from close range, handing Pirates the lead. However, Chiefs fought back and they managed to level matters in the 79th minute when Dylan Solomons set up Yusuf Mart, who fired past on Russian keeper Sipho Chaine to make it 1-1. The match ended in a 1-1 draw in regulation time and the game went into extra time. Substitute Sandile Mthethwa proved to be the hero as the towering centre-back headed home Ndabai Tetwa's Ndlondlo's lovely cross in the 11th minute to hand Pirates a 2-1 win. You're watching Sunset News. If you're just joining us, we'll be back with the highlights right after this break.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment.
Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
To another exciting episode of Oneuptwo. We bring jou
Dis die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis julle mondstuk gaan byt.
You're still watching Sunset News. Let's get into the highlights from today's broadcast. Namibia has gathered a team of high-skilled experts to help the country draft its synthetics fuel law, including Oxford University, University of Cape Town, World Bank, and the Center for Law Development Program in the United States. This team will report to the Ministry of Justice and the Ministry of Mines of Energy and will be compensated with funds from grants Namibia received from Germany and the European Union. In Eswatini, Lesotho, Namibia and Zimbabwe, economic shocks associated with soaring food prices and a severe deterioration in household purchasing power were the main drivers of acute food insecurity. This is according to the 2023 Global Report on Food Crises. In sports, the Namibian Private Schools Organization NAPSO Sports Week saw 16 private schools and 3,600 participants competing in different sports codes, namely rugby, netball, and hockey. And with that, we have come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, Oneuptwo.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday and Sundays from 7:30 to 8 p.m. I am Diana Master, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.